I just woke up.
Oh. All right, what's up, y'all?
Welcome,
Good morning.
Chokes and Consciousness.
Episode
16.
16.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Look, okay, so we switched it up. If you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, last week we were in our villain era, so we were sour if we were in the Sour Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're sweet. We're going sweet today.
All right.
Kinda.
Kind
It's
of.
only because of Sweet 16.
I got you. I got where you're going. Sweet 16. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are again, Michaela and I. In the morning this time, switched it up on you all and us. I think we've only recorded another one other time in the morning.
Yeah, that was early, though.
It
Earlier.
was. It was like at 9 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take that over nighttime pods, though.
Yeah, that's true. Nighttime pod winding down. But that was a
Yeah.
pretty good one.
Yeah, it was
Probably
pretty
because
good.
we were slap happy.
Probably. Yeah, definitely more like focused and energized in the morning.
Yeah. And it's like late morning about to be noon.
Mm-hmm. On a nice rainy day.
Rainy day, and this snuck up on me. I don't know if it snuck up on you, but we fell back in the
Oh
time zone
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yesterday. Wasn't even on my radar.
Oh really? That's kind of cool.
Wasn't on my radar. Emily and I just got in the car yesterday, and I looked. We got up on the phone switch automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And so get in the car, and I look at my car clock, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
did we
that's
fall
funny.
back today? Yeah, it just kind of threw me off a little bit. So
Dang. Did
having to
you
adjust.
did you get an hour at that extra hour and felt good when you woke up? Or did you even notice that you slept for a little bit longer?
I
Or
noticed I slept longer.
yeah. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Did you feel it? Like, because coming back because obviously we're going to get into it, but traveling from Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been like this morning I probably woke up originally at 6 just from the time change, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep sleeping.
Yeah. What is the time difference? Is there one?
So yeah. I mean, we
Oh.
go back an hour or we gain
Oh,
an
I thought you were
hour.
talking about.
Oh, in
Sorry.
Texas.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
wait, no. I was like,
no.
okay.
The time's the
hmm
same in Texas.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hmm.
But I think I like spring forward better.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I like knowing, oh, I can sleep or I can wake up now and I'm on time. Like I don't have to force myself to wake up early until I adjust to the time change and then I'll be back to like I gotta wake up at 6:30 or whatever.
How long does it take you to adjust?
Probably like a week. Not very long.
See, it's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I hate in the spring when it changes and then you gotta wake up earlier.
Yeah. I just don't like it being dark when
Yeah.
I wake up. I'm like, I just don't want to get up.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. But it sucks in the evening though when it's darker earlier in the evening.
That's true. And no, but that's what we're going to be dealing with right now.
Yeah. Yeah. For the
It's going
next
to,
4 months.
yeah, I think the sunset yesterday was like around 5 o'clock, like 5:15.
Yeah. I hate that.
Fall back. See,
Yeah.
if we were a spring forward,
Yeah,
we
you're
would
right.
slowly be getting. Yeah,
Mm,
we just had to get there.
yeah. Love the sleep, hate the darkness.
Yeah, we don't want the darkness like this. Do I really want to do anything productive in this? Not really.
Mm, I do like, I don't know. I like it during the winter time training wise because like you're going to the gym when it's dark and then you're leaving when it's dark. So like you're
Mm.
not really missing out on sunset times. It's just kind of a weird feeling. Like you just feel like, oh, I'm just training all evening.
Yeah. I know, but I like my vitamin D. Even like the
Yeah.
perception that I'm getting vitamin D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. I don't know. I feel like you
Yeah.
just gotta live to learn with or learn to live with the darkness in the
That's
wintertime.
true. I hated it when I was in Minnesota
Oh, I bet. Ugh.
because it's like it was like cold, like all like a month ago.
Mhm.
You know, I think they're probably obviously they're warmer than they have been since we have been too.
Mhm.
Uh, but I tell you what, when that shit snowed in October, I mean, talk about crushing my soul because it just kept going. It's
Mhm.
dark outside. It's cold. Have to digging out my car out
Dang,
of the
in
snow to go
October.
train.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not fun. Like doing that
Not
in
at all.
Kansas isn't fun, but I can't imagine like digging out your car.
I kept a shovel in my car.
Dang. Mhm.
You had to keep, I mean, obviously, keep a shovel, case of water,
Yeah.
blankets. I didn't have the blankets. I did have the coats or the jackets,
Mhm.
a little bit of water, but definitely had a shovel just in case I had to dig myself out.
Yeah. I probably won't ever move up there. Never.
I will say, adult wise, I feel you there. It's like I wouldn't go back, I don't think. However, the weather's kind of the only thing, probably the food too, but that's just me.
Mhm.
Is the reason probably why I would want to go back up there. But Mayo Clinic's up that way. They have great health insurance.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, they have a great outdoor scene, nature.
Yeah. I've never been.
Well, that you should put that on the list to go visit. Not like southern Minnesota where I was going to school, Mankato, and like that's like an hour and a half from the Iowa border. Go further up north, like Duluth. That's where Lake Superior is and
Mhm.
whatnot. Minneapolis is cool too. Like Duluth is further north than Minneapolis is, but Minneapolis is cool. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't. Mall of America is kind of like the one experience, like one time, and you're good.
Mhm.
Like, who wants to walk around a mall for like 7 hours and get lost?
Yeah. I'm not a fan. Of just like normal malls too. Like, nah.
Dang. I mean, there was a point in time. There was a point in time where malls were hidden.
Yeah. I think that was like right before my time because I think they were going out when I was a kid. Like we'd
Sad.
go, but like it wasn't a huge thing. And then like years later, they're shutting down.
Yeah, it's just like the elderly workout routine spot now. I'm not hating, right? they
The
they get
speedwalkers.
yep, they get them walks in. Oh my gosh. Hold on, put a pin in this for a quick second on malls.
Yeah.
I want to come back to that. Did you recently hear about I forgot what his name is, but like an Olympic speed walker be like testing positive for PEDs?
Really?
What do you need to take PEDs for to speed walk?
Oh, that's funny. The recovery. He's probably sore.
I mean, okay, that's fair. Honestly, okay, that's fair. How far do they speed walk? Like in training, like are you doing like 10 miles a day and you're like, gotta get the next 10 in tomorrow else
Yeah.
I got.
I don't know. Yeah,
Oh no.
that's so funny though. Like, why? I mean, you're a speed walker. You're not
What are you
such
doing?
an easy sport. Or it's probably not easy, but I
Not, you don't
mean,
need PE. That's not a PED
yeah.
enticing kind of sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm ready to risk it all.
Raging on that speed walk.
Like, what are we doing? Uh, okay, but anywho, let me put a pen back. Let me take that pen
Bring it
out, come
back.
back to the mall. Yeah. Malls were the shit. And it's sad for me to see that we're not that far removed. I mean, what, I got 8 years on you?
Mm-hmm.
During my time when I grew up, now, mind you, I wasn't like a mall kid necessarily, like teenager, because my grandma, I was always shopping with her. So it's like that was my mall experience. So it's like when I
Mm-hmm.
went to the mall, I was like, I wasn't trying to be there. I'm here. I was here all the time anyway at freaking Dillard's,
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Penney. I'm all right, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we used to be in the scandalous T Mall, the Westridge Mall, and that's when malls were popping in like the 90s. I mean
Yeah.
80s, right? Like but
Mm-hmm.
90s, early 2000s, because you had, not only did you have all your shopping in there, you had the food court, which was actually something other than like a couple spots, your Sabaros and or Sabaros and
Yeah,
Taco Bell, which are there's Taco Bell's not even in the Westridge Mall anymore. But I haven't even been in the Westridge Mall for a while, so I heard they're maybe trying to make a little bit of a comeback.
that's good.
Yeah, but like there used to be movie theaters in there,
Mm-hmm.
laser tag restaurants.
Yeah, I do remember like mini golfing and doing some things in the mall down in Wichita, but I was young when they were popping. Like I was a
Yeah,
little kid.
yeah, it wasn't like when you had that teenage freedom where you thought you had a little
Mm-hmm.
freedom, like
Yeah.
drop me off at the mall for a couple hours with my homies.
Dang. See, my mom wouldn't do that either.
Dang. See, I did get to have that in middle school, like get dropped off because we're gonna go to a movie. We're gonna go to a 7 o'clock movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was lit.
Yeah, I bet. Looks fun. Like watching Stranger Things when they're all chilling in the malls.
Yeah,
Like they kind of brought that back.
they did. The 80s were. I was. I mean, yeah, I was born in '88, but I wasn't an '80s baby, is how I look at it. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like my childhood was in the '90s.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like I was born in 96, but I didn't live really in the 90s. Like I only remember early 2000s.
Yeah, those were an interesting time, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
Yeah.
tiny little me.
Look, yeah, but then you shot up.
Yeah, I was
Who
only
is this adult with these kids?
Yep, that was me at 12. Everybody thinking I was 18 at like 12, 13 years old.
That's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Michaela, you gonna get us something? You could have went to go see in the mall, go see R-rated movies. They probably wouldn't have carded you.
Probably. I mean, I still look 12, but I was just really tall.
Yeah, just a bit. It's always funny when you see like, cause also like the little boys that have like stashes in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like y'all look like grown ass men,
Yeah.
and you're 12 years old or
Yeah, my
13 years
my
old.
little brother, he also grew really fast when he hit, I think 11 or 12. And yeah, he started growing like that peach fuzz, but it was coming in strong, so he just let
Mm-hmm.
it grow. He kind of had an Amish looking beard. He still might have it. And I think he's just doing
Dang.
that just to be silly because he's funny
I
like
mean, why
that.
not? Why not? Yeah, that. Yeah, middle school. Honestly, middle schoolers are probably like the scariest demographic. When's the last time you've been? Well, actually, I'm not even gonna because kids class. But how many middle
Hmm.
schoolers are in kids class?
I don't know. I don't know their ages. We probably
Hmm.
got a few.
Yeah, they're a different breed.
Yeah, they're turds. Like
Yeah.
the like not the young kids, but yeah, the middle aged. They're probably middle
Mm-hmm.
schoolers. Yeah, they don't listen. They don't want to listen to anything I have to say.
At all. They have so much going on.
Mm-hmm. And they talk back, and they just don't care.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, was I that way? Maybe in ways.
I bet you were a little
I
bit.
probably was. I probably was. Yeah. It's like just let me do my own thing and then I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah,
don't question what's going on over here. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it's all good.
yeah, but all of them think like that, and that's not good.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's like sixth grade to ninth grade. Whew. And then it gets maybe a little scary because of like the risk factor, but they have a little more respect for adults maybe when
Mm-hmm.
they're like sophomores kinda. But
Kinda.
it's a little more like I think I'm an adult
Mm-hmm. Not
versus
realizing the world yet. You just
yeah.
think you're grown up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, junior, senior, cool. And
Mm-hmm.
then college, go through it and all right, you're off on your journey. But middle schoolers, elementary school, I'd even rather just kind of be around because at
Mm-hmm.
least like they still have a little bit of fear of adults.
Yeah.
Middle schoolers just don't have. They don't care. They don't care about you. They're not scared of
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah, there's more respect that comes from the younger kids sometimes than the middle schoolers.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Maybe it's because they have this realization that like adults don't know shit.
Mhm.
They're
Probably.
like, you gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Look what you got going on over there. And it's like you might be right, okay, but my ego can't handle you calling me out and acting the way you're acting.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, "Don't make me go get Heidi or Nikki."
That's right. Weapons.
Mhm. That's all
Like,
I
is there a
got.
tier? Is there a tier? It's like right, like we see like Heidi like smiling and stuff, but it's like,
Mhm.
would you rather me get Nikki or Heidi?
No, some they don't want to hear from Nikki. I don't think these kids are around anymore, but there was a few that would be acting up, and I would tell them like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get Nikki," and they'd be like, "No, I'll do it. I'll practice."
Nikki, no nonsense.
Yeah, yeah, she shuts that down. Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so you'd rather Heidi
Mhm.
if it was gonna happen, and Nikki's like, "Oh no, 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 I'm
Yeah.
sorry."
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah. Heidi's good at talking to them though. Like, I don't know, coming to their level to where they will listen to her.
Yeah,
I don't know how she
yeah,
does it.
because she's great at everything.
Mhm.
Just watching watching her again, like work around like the gym and stuff, and like again, people making progress, pop it in when they can. It's been awesome to see.
Mhm.
Again, Heidi just with her Excel, delegate, respond. You
Yeah.
hear, this is what we need. And not just like you hear, but like we'll walk you over there and then go step by step and the tools that you need, pick the tools up for.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not necessarily like trying to herd cats or anything, but she's just like, I'm not just going to give you this drill to trust you to go over there. I'm going to give you
Mhm.
everything you need, tell you what you need to do, and then come back and get me if it's not it.
Yeah. No, and she's good at assigning people to different things because she knows, oh, this person's good with detail. This person's maybe a little more messy. Like she understands that, and yeah, she's been directing everybody around. It is awesome because we're all coming together too. Like our gym's coming a long ways, real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's been crazy. I was like, she had me prying off like a piece of this board, like on this
Mhm.
wall. And she was, was telling me, but be careful not to crack the wall behind it. So I'm already nervous. I'm like, okay, I know,
Mhm.
so I'm just going slow, getting it. And then it got to a point where like I just heard this like this cracking. I
Ah.
was like, Heidi, Heidi. She comes around the corner smiling. She goes, what? Like, I'm
Mhm.
scared. I was like, I don't want to mess this up. And then she just gives me a bigger, like, prying tool.
Oh, yeah, that big one was nice.
Yeah, came right off.
Nice. Did you get the
She was,
board that was way up high on the wall?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I left.
I got it.
Nice. Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get that. It was way too high. I was
Yeah,
hot.
well, I was on that little tool.
Yeah. The other day, did I tell you I was tearing down the stairs and I was just smacking them at the end with that big pry bar?
Oh, heck yeah.
It was
Let it out.
awesome.
Oh,
I wasn't able to get them, so I just took it and just smacked it. Got it.
satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything that you've learned in this process about like building?
I just tore stairs apart. I didn't build anything. But
Well, that goes into building, right?
yeah, I did like I pulled up stairs and I mean, I didn't break one crack, but I didn't break them, so they were able to reuse some of them. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's something, right?
Yeah. Did
Like,
you learn anything in your
let's
process
see.
of pulling off the board?
I mean, so far, I mean, what Heidi told me, you just need a bigger tool for the job. And I was like,
Mm.
dang, you right. You're right, Heidi. It's just like the amount of every little thing that goes into every little thing is
Mm-hmm.
insane, right? It's not just pulling up mats and setting them down and stacking them like because it was raining on Saturday.
Mm.
And so
Um,
it's like you can't just set the mats down and stack them while they're still wet because then that's a problem. So you got to like,
mm-hmm.
make sure you wipe them, preserve, make sure they're dry, then stack them. Wiping the walls down. It's not just wiping the walls down. It's like there's little hairs and stuff you got to like wipe off of
Yeah.
that. Make sure that the paint or whatever is not, or adhesive, whatever is going to go over that's not going to impact it. Um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like all this stuff that goes, all the little stuff that goes into like building. It's just literally a pro. Like you put the stairs. It's like I didn't even know stairs. You could just like move stairs like that.
Yeah, me neither.
I was like, oh well, how are y'all gonna do that?
Yeah, and the people that build the previous stairs, like they didn't do a great job. Like and I didn't realize that either. Like the way they built it was bad. They put a ton of wood glue. Like, they just tried wood gluing stuff because the stairs were uneven, and they put a ton of nails and everything. Like they just nailed everything double to keep it together and tearing it apart. Like you see the
Hazard.
unnecessary amount of nails and wood glue that was just dumped on the stairs. But then you look at Heidi's stairs, Heidi's and Matt's, because Matt helped too.
He did. Well, didn't he
um,
like build the initial like
yeah, like the
runway and stuff?
frame, like the initial frame that they
Mm-hmm.
attach the stairs to. But
Mm-hmm.
their stairs look nice. Like those are
They
well
do.
made. They look really clean, like beautiful looking stairs compared to the old stairs.
Yeah. Out here.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, Matt did a good job with that, and then Heidi coming in with the detail. Heidi's mom was there getting it.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't know Heidi's mom was Heidi's mom. I didn't tell her hi. I should have.
Dang, you didn't know this
I didn't.
weekend? Or I
Well,
guess when you were there last time.
yeah, I showed up and I saw her. I didn't know whose mom that was. I knew she was a mom, but I didn't realize that was Heidi's mom.
And then
Like,
when you like look at it, you're like, oh, right.
yeah, yeah. And then I heard her talk. And I was like, oh, that's Heidi's voice, but just a little older.
It's gonna be Heidi.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then, little slash big Otis is out here doing his
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
funny.
It was so funny because Kate's gonna laugh at this if she listens to this. Um, like when we were working around, like the little one, she gets excited.
Hmm.
And she was super excited with Otis. And so it was just like she just kept chasing.
Oh no.
He was so scared.
Really?
Like, he was like he kept running away. Like she wasn't registering that like he was not into it, but
Hmm.
like but like she just like she just kept running, and then she had the toy and just like kept trying to like give it to him, and he was like no, and then like Heidi went somewhere and he'd like run out, like he literally was like sprinting as much as he could to Heidi, and then like looking back it was like like came and tried to like hide behind me. It was so
Aw.
funny. I
And
know.
Otis is so floppy too. Like his steps are so like he's so uncoordinated still. So that's hilarious. Him running away
It
from her.
was. Man, she just wanted to give him love, and I was here
Hmm.
for it, and it was also just like he was like, "Oh my god, what is this little person doing?"
Yeah, it's probably his first time being chased by a little person too. He's probably not used to that yet.
Yeah, that's true. Get used to it, bro.
Hmm.
Just stand your ground, and then
Otis doesn't know.
he doesn't know yet. But once he starts figuring it out,
Yeah, yeah. He once he gets his full size, he's gonna know. Like people ain't messing with me.
nobody or nothing, no animals.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Hmm.
bet he's gonna be just a giant love bug though. Being a
Oh yeah,
mastiff, he's already like clingy to Heidi.
oh yeah, mama. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's lit. So it's kind of cool to see like the progression of like him and the space.
Yeah,
So when it's
yeah.
all said and done, like seeing where he started out and then like where everything's at.
Hmm. Little puppy and a big puppy.
Literally. Still got
Yeah.
his puppy face, but he's like almost 80 pounds.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if he thinks this new space is his new home because he's watching it being built and he's there almost every day. I wonder if he's just like in his head, he's like, oh, this is going to be my new home, my new house.
Maybe he's like, they're building this for me.
Hmm.
This makes sense.
Yeah, kind of are.
Yeah. He gonna be in there flopping
Hmm.
around.
Gym dog.
Jim dog. Like the Sandlot dog.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Gym dog Otis.
Gym Dog Otis. All right. Well, since we're continuing to talk about the week, we got to get into some stuff. Today, we have some topics, obviously, to talk about in terms of UFC fights. In regard to our continual theme, we are now in November. Shout out to the Scorpios out there. It
Scorpios.
is, it's your season, thriving. I know a lot of Scorpios.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Think
Shout
I'll
out
shout
Josh and
out.
Jill. Their
Oh, there's
birthdays are this
Scorpios.
week.
Oh, I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Yep. Their birthdays are this week. And who else? I think Danielle, Colton.
Dang. I didn't realize they're
Uh,
all Scorpios. All right.
mm-hmm.
Makes
I
sense.
think there's yep. Kate too, but I mean Kate's gonna be like, oh my god, shut up. I mean, technically, I guess if you want to be a Scorpio, but according to Kate's actual birth chart, that may be questionable.
No, that's funny. She's got a tattoo, a Scorpio sign tattoo. She might
Mm-hmm.
not be a Scorpio.
Might not. We don't know. But shout out to you, Kate. I know you got some stuff going on this weekend as far as testing with what you
Oh,
got going
really?
on. Yep. So hopefully I think it was another skill test. So
Nice.
good luck to her today. I
Yeah,
think that
homegirl Kate becoming a cop.
yeah. I told her like I was like if you need like a real life scenario like of a traffic stop or whatever, like a disgruntled like I got you. I
Oh, that's
can
hilarious.
scene and I'm just like, what did you pull me over for? Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. I want to act
Yep.
like a crazy person
That's
and
what I'm saying.
fight her, like throw some punches, unexpected punches at her.
Yo, she lit up in that kind of like scenario when that happened because I guess she like it was like like she did, and then
Mm-hmm.
the person like ran and then they had to fight and she was like,
What?
I was like, well, no, like not real, but
Okay,
like the
but
scenario, no, the
scenario.
scenario in the training, and I
Okay.
was like, you are so ready to like, I was like, you want somebody to resist.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we should do that. We need to, whenever she's at the gym next, we'll have to do scenario training at the gym.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Well, we could definitely like double team that.
Yeah, we could double team a scenario. Oh, that's awesome. Like one of us, we could do like a fake traffic stop or something.
Yeah, stay in
You're,
the vehicle. No.
start running
Yeah.
or
Again, I
fight
hold
her.
true. I told her I was like I hold true though. If like I get the first 40 on you, it's over. Like I'm gone
Hmm.
because then I'm just gonna treat you like a crocodile and go zigzags, and then you're not gonna be able to get me with anything. And then I'm gonna go somewhere where your vehicle can't go.
Hmm. Yeah, she better pull out her taser quick because both of us, we got speed on her. Sorry, Kate,
First,
but
yeah, first 40. It's
oh
if
yeah.
you're not gonna get us, it's done.
Yeah, any cops out there, like, hey, you gotta have speed if you're trying to catch me and Deja.
Mm. That's right. Speed and brains.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we didn't we talk about an adult game of hide and go seek recently.
I feel like we did.
I think we did.
Oh
And
yeah,
y'all
we
want?
did.
Yeah, don't play with me out here. I can hide with the best of them.
Yeah, that still would be fun to play. An adult version of outdoor hide and go seek.
Yeah, this is gonna happen. That laser tag and paintball.
Yeah,
Put it on the list.
all right. With our
Yeah.
lock in, our gym lock in. Whenever the new gym's ready.
Ooh, we need to get a popcorn machine. Oh, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna propose this to Heidi, like in
Hmm.
the lounge or something. Like get a little pop, like for the kids. I
Oh
mean, that probably would
yeah.
be messy,
Hmm.
but it have to encourage them. Be like, we only have popcorn if you always clean up after yourselves.
Yeah, or like end of the night popcorn. So if they're good the whole night throughout
Mm-hmm.
adults class, then we can make popcorn. That might
Yeah.
work. That might be something.
No. Okay. Put it down.
Yeah, put a note in it.
Yep. Okay. I like where we're going with this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, but yeah, we are officially in November now. Um, even though we have a lot of November peeps, love to all our Scorpios and November peeps out there. And like I say, not a but, an and, because multiple things could be true. I'm not gonna lie. November probably isn't my favorite month of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of an in-between month from October and December.
It is. It is. I don't know, like that, but like as a kid, it was just like always. Every time we got to November, it was just like I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to December. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I was antsy for the holidays and and stuff. Because I'm like, all right, cool, Thanksgiving, get to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's at the end. The whole like first part of November is just it's just an extension of October, basically,
Yeah, but
until
then it's just
winter
the
kicks
colder.
in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's probably why. Sorry, November peeps. It's not a
Yeah.
reflection on you. I'm just saying if I had to rank the months.
Mm-hmm. And we're October people, so.
So obviously that's number one. I mean, if you think about it, like October and November are probably rivals. So that makes sense. Even though like we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be biased and our month
Mm.
is in October. So obviously people in November, they're going to be like, what are you talking about? It's like Kansas, Missouri.
Yeah. No, that makes sense because like Libras, we're very chill and calm people. Scorpios are unpredictable. So that makes total sense.
Yeah. That yeah. That's right. Because you don't know when shit's coming. They've been assessing. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
just cut off. Cold blooded. Don't mess with Scorpios out here for real, y'all.
Yeah.
Warning.
What are December people like? What
Capricorns.
Capricorn?
Capricorns and Sagittarius.
Mm.
Or well, I guess Sagittarius and then Capricorn is
Mm-hmm.
what
All
is what
right.
it is.
They're chill, right?
Yeah.
I
Um
feel like they're like the Hufflepuffs.
I mean, I wouldn't call them the Hufflepuffs. They're like, they're kind of driven, right? Leaders, quiet leaders,
Hmm.
a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. I think Beth is Beth a Capricorn or I think she might be a Sagittarius. She's going to tear me up.
Mm,
She's
I
one of
know.
those too. I know. She's one of those.
Yeah.
Technically, I think Kate is a Sagittarius. Um,
Mm. I
the
mean,
way her birthday lies.
yeah, but she does come off as a Scorpio.
She does. That's true. I mean, she is on like I said, like kind of like the cusp, but according to her birth chart, that's where the moon was. It's like me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm on the last day, not I
Yeah.
mean, of Libra, but like I'm not there's no parts of me that's a Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No.
No. Yeah, so think of Beth.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Got their stuff together, very intellectual.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know anybody else, or I can't think of anybody I know.
I'd have to I'd have to marinate on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But with that said, obviously we're getting into some things. It's whatever you got going on, a very important time of the year, election time. So everybody's like up, elevated in energy right now. Definitely feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I know you're acclimating to getting back because you've had a big weekend in Texas, and that was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like, and Michaela doing big things. And it was kind of the inspiration, as it always is, for the topic of the week in Zen Talk that we'll be talking about in terms of karmic portals. So when is it time to let go of old patterns that result in similar results? And then for our Zen Talk, karmic cleansing, right? So you don't continue to embrace and reaffirm old patterns and continue moving forward. Because actually, this continues to show up. People that I know, new or old patterns showing themselves. And, we've talked about multiple times in various different ways of transformative energy, our villain era. We're feeling this elevation of energy. And, like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Old stuff maybe has been coming up that the universe is like, this is what these are the lessons that you continue to need to learn. So we're going to throw all this at you in the last like year and really the last month. and see where you want to go with this. But I know you messaged me over the weekend after your Texas trip that we're going to be going over in the competition with. You've got some motivating energy, you've got some
Mhm.
elevation that you're wanting to put in. So I thought this was all fitting for this
Yeah.
for today. So, Michaela, out
Yeah.
here, silver medalist, coming back from Pans. Talk to us about it.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good tournament. I think last week I mentioned we had 3 girls in our bracket, but that went up to 11. So
Oh
that was,
wow.
yeah. That's the biggest bracket I've ever competed in. So that was kind of cool to see that many girls sign up.
When did
And
it change? Like when did you see 3 to then 11?
I think the last week and a half is when it went up. So
Because the
people,
deadline was like what? I think 2 weeks before that.
oh, maybe it was 2 weeks before. I stopped checking at a certain point. So probably right before the deadline, everybody probably signed up.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was cool. It was a good experience. I had 3 pretty solid matches. I feel good from them. It was cool. All the girls there were like my height. Most of them were
Yeah,
my
they
height
did
and my
the they
size.
did. Mhm.
So that was cool to see and cool to compete against because usually everybody's a lot shorter than I am or smaller than I am. So it's kind of
Mhm.
cool going up to 158 and actually competing against girls that kind of look like me. That was a first.
Great experience,
Yeah.
right? And so for those of you that you know are didn't know or need a reminder, so Michaela was in Fort Worth at Pans this past weekend and competed with a number of some of our other teammates that also did
Hmm.
really well. And as Michaela was saying, at first she thought, or there was just 3 in her division, but bumped up to 11, which was super cool. We were actually just talking not that long ago about, maybe it was like a month ago, we were just talking about you're typically always going to be like the taller person in your
Yeah.
division, but it's kind of interesting to see that there were similar sizes, and so I did get to catch all of your matches.
Nice.
The only one I missed in real time, and half of it was your first
Hmm.
one because you started earlier and I was like
Yeah.
literally on my way home.
Mm.
So I caught like the last 2 minutes of that one live, and then I went back and replayed it before your
Hmm.
second one. I think that was um the one you got that sweet takedown, or was that the
Yeah.
second match?
No, that was my first one. Yeah, my first one,
Okay.
I got a good takedown with the overhook, which Matt, I think, taught like a month ago, and I liked it, and I got to use it, so that was pretty sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
and I mean, I didn't know what she was doing, but I kind of was setting it up so she would reach under for that underhook. So I felt pretty good about the timing and everything.
Yeah. You like
And
that position a lot, I noticed,
well,
like in
I'm
training. Like,
usually taller, so you people usually get the underhook more easily on me because I am taller and I like going for the clinch. So it's just natural for people to like swim under. So using that overhook, like being able to use that is something that I'm just trying to use now. Because before I'd get stuck and people would like pick up my legs, take me down because they would have the underhook. But I'm trying to use that to my
mm-hmm.
advantage. So I got the takedown on my first match, and that was pretty sweet because she was as tall as me. She was kind of lanky like me. We're
Yeah.
pretty similar in build, so it was a good first match. It was pretty back and forth the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to get into that a little more here in a second.
Hmm.
But going back, because I'm curious, because we were kind of talking about energy, like where you were at before, like body wise, you said you felt pretty great,
Hmm.
and everything. Like energy, how was it going into this competition, getting into everything prior to the first match? Like, how are you feeling?
I was feeling pretty good, pretty focused. Like mentally, I was good. I was where I needed to be. Pans is a lot smaller than Vegas. Like I didn't realize how much smaller it was going to be, so it was just less noise, less people. So I think that was, I don't know, easier to adapt to, and
Mm-hmm.
just like maybe less pressure. But I felt pretty good. Like mentally, I was focused going in. That whole like I competed around 240, I think. So or around
Yeah.
that time. So I had the whole day to kind of just stretch and warm up and drink my caffeine, kind of get ready, get prepared. But stepping out there, I felt good. Like I wasn't nervous
Hmm.
or anything. I felt pretty focused.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's sort of locked in. It kind of sounds like
Hmm.
when we talked about worlds, and you'd said like it's like one thing, to kind of like it be in that energy, and then you're there and you don't compete for like a day or two, and then you're just kind of
Hmm.
sitting in not only all of your teammates' energy, but everybody else's in that kind of environment. Everybody's just kind of locked in this
Yeah.
space. I think it is easy to kind of get a little overstimulated, a little more difficult to try to find your center and feel anchored. And so it
Hmm.
is nice to be able to not to have necessarily all of that excess noise in the background, so you can really focus and hone in on what you need to energy wise before you get out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was just more focused for this one, and it felt good. Like almost like I've done this before when I've competed. Like get locked in to where it's not an out of body experience, but it could be. Like you're watching yourself from the outside, and you know what you have to do. That's kind of where I was at for this tournament, which is kind of fun.
Oh, so you found your flow state.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Flow state.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just like everything's like I'm content, I'm feeling good. I'm like watching from like the outside in. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt good.
I am locked in with you. I get it. I
Hmm.
know. I get where you're at. That makes me happy that you had that experience for
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah, I've only done that like a few other times. Like I think my blue corner match, I was pretty locked in and
Hmm.
I felt like I was watching it from the outside, and then I think my MMA fight, I felt the same thing. So it's just like that intense focus that, yeah, like feeling intense, feeling focused, feeling ready. Flow state.
Hmm. Flow
Yeah,
state.
it's
Okay,
fun.
that's what we like to hear. So you went in with that, embraced it, and then like you said, you go into this first match, you get your takedown. And it was a back and forth. I can't remember off the, like cuz you'd got the takedown into side, and then did you go into full mount? Because I like, how did
No,
she initially, or like I felt like she initiated a sweep off of your pass. Not that she
mm,
necessarily put you there, but I don't. Maybe I'm
no,
remembering
I
that.
think she turtled. I think I was in side control. I think she bumped me off or bumped up and was able to turn down into turtle off of me getting side. They reset us in the middle and then she turtled and then I was on her back and then I don't know. I think she might have rolled up, maybe got a sweep off. I don't know. I can't remember. But I just know for a second she was in turtle, and I kind of had my hand around her neck, and I should have like played that differently. I think I could have got her there if I would have done something different. But
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, we'll have to go back and look at that one because you know I think sometimes you get caught in that position more
mhm,
times than not, because you're so long, but like she's also long, so like when you go to reach when you're
mhm,
passing, and then if you don't get that underhook, and but you're over like that, kind of like that headlock position, but you weren't going for a headlock, but it kind of puts you
yeah,
there.
mhm,
I think that's kind of like she didn't take your back, but it almost seemed like that's where the initiate of the scramble happened.
yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah. We'll have to
Hmm.
look back at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of scrambles. The whole like we were competing the
Hmm.
whole match. Like it was back and
Yeah,
forth
you were.
for
I
the
was
whole
like, man,
6 minutes.
tired
Yeah.
watching you. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, halfway through, I remember looking at the clock and we still had 3 minutes. I was like, oh my God, like I thought we were almost done.
That's the worst feeling. Like 3 minutes, it feels like 15. Right at that
Hmm.
point, it's like you really wish you like saw like 30 seconds left, because you're like, okay, I could just like go all out. But 3 minutes, you're like, and you're tired for before you, because there's probably like a recovery period, right? Of like where you caught your
Hmm.
breath. But in that moment, it was just like, damn. All
Yeah.
right.
And being the very first one too, like that's when you get all your adrenaline out and that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that usually warms me up and get like all the nerves out and everything. So those are going a little bit. Yeah, it was a long match, but it was fun though. It was fun being able to compete like that and go back and forth with somebody.
Yeah, look good. Your posture look good.
Yeah, thanks. I was
on your
working
phone.
on that.
I was like, okay, I see you. You know, we're not leaning.
hmm Yeah, my last match, I was leaning a little bit. It's like, but
I mean, if you kind of think, I mean, at that point, you had two tough matches. You're going into a third one that was also somewhat tough. I mean, I'm not necessarily giving excuses for you, but I'm just saying, like, it's a little more difficult to get into those positions if you're tired at that point.
hmm
You know, you're not your nervous system isn't firing like it was.
yeah, yeah. Second match, that one was a little annoying because she held me in her closed guard for probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, so cause she pulled guard, right?
hmm
And she wasn't I don't am I getting yours confused with Ron? Like she wasn't really
No,
doing anything.
no, like I was just sitting in her closed guard, like trying to posture. And for the longest time, she was just kind of chilling, like just maybe trying to grab my arm, but wasn't doing a whole lot. But she was really strong, like her legs were really strong. So she was able, I tried to posture, she was able to rock me, like back and forth, get me
Mhm.
off balance. But she really didn't do much in her with her closed guard. She just kind of held me there for 5 minutes. Um, and we were tied up until the last minute when I was able I think I broke out and then I went to pass, wrapped her head, and I kind of got the head and arm kind of locked down, but
Mhm.
she trapped me in her half. So I was trying to clear the half with her head and arm wrapped, and that's how I got the advantage. I think was just
Okay.
wrapping up her
Yeah, yeah,
head,
yeah. Before
and
you got put into that half guard.
I think
Cuz you say you had the submission attempt?
yeah, but that
Yeah.
was I think I was still in her half.
Well, they can't actually give you the points until that sequence is like completed.
Oh, really?
Right. So they're like if you were still going for it,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not going to give you but you hadn't gotten it and they're not going to give you an advantage. They're going to wait until you've either like completed it or the next like movement or sequence happens to then initiate the advantage and the point.
I got you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I had it just locked up long enough for the advantage. Because she almost triangled me. Oh, that's how I got out of her guard. She had my arm and tried. I think she was either gone for a triangle or an armbar, but I was able to pass off of that.
Yeah.
And that's when I wrapped her head. And that's when she caught my leg back and put me in half.
Mhm. Mhm.
But she didn't have any control of my posture though. And I think that's why she didn't get the advantage
That makes
while,
sense.
while I did because I had her shoulders pressed to the mat, trying
Yeah.
to
I
lock up
mean,
the head and
you're
arm.
the one advancing. Yeah, and
hmm
right? And so I think yeah, rightfully so you should have got the advantage on that. Um was that the same competitor that ran in front of you before y'all went to go shake hands before the match started? Or
No,
was that the
that
third
that
person?
was the third one. She was a little
I
annoying.
wasn't feeling that. Of
No, she was Brazilian. She was annoying.
course, yeah.
Yeah, she the match before her match before ours, she triangled a girl in I think like 30 seconds. Like it was pretty quick. And after she did that, she like screamed. She was like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Cool, you got a triangle."
All right.
Like just
Big
extra.
balling over there. All
Yeah.
right, you got it.
Yeah, just extra. But did you see though, like after our match, she would just laid on the floor for probably
Yeah,
30 seconds.
is she crying? Like what was going on?
Yeah. I don't know. Matt said she probably thought she lost. That's why she was laying because we were tied the whole match. Yeah, I think we were tied. And then she went for a triangle, ended up doing the
Yeah.
mounted triangle on me. And then within the last minute, then I was able to rock
Mhm.
up and kind of pressure into her and I and then the match ended and they gave her the advantage for that. But it's not she didn't I don't know. She couldn't lock up the triangle. Like it wasn't tight enough.
Yeah.
But it was funny though cuz throughout the match like if were to pressure into her, she would like wince, like make like that type of noises.
You giving her that work, that pressure.
Mhm.
She couldn't take it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Heidi and
Yeah.
I watched that one together, the third one. I wasn't feeling, and I was like, I was not feeling that when she ran. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, I was like, I don't like that energy. What
Mm-hmm.
are we doing?
Yeah, she was extra. I think she gave the cameraman a hug afterwards. She ended up working after for IBJJF, like dressed up afterwards and was helping out. She was just extra, but
Mm.
whatever.
We
I'll get
got
her
we got
next
it. We got
time.
the name. Yeah, we got the name locked in.
Yeah, Anna, Bia, some. She has like four
Yeah,
names.
yeah. That Silva, I'm pretty sure was her last name.
Hmm.
I have to look at that.
Yeah,
But what happened to obviously
Natasha.
I know she yeah, I was like I was waiting when I saw I was like, "Oh, wait." I said, "What happened?"
Yeah, the girl. My second match was against Sandra. She beat Natasha.
Yeah, what'd
Um,
she beat her with?
she was going for an arm bar. I think she had it locked up. Natasha stood up. Sandra hooked her leg, and Natasha set her back on the ground. But I think she did it hard enough that they DQ'd her.
Oh,
So she picked her up
dang.
and set her down. But I don't think I wouldn't consider it a slam because Sandra hooked her leg, and that's what caused her to set her back down. But I don't think it was an intentional slam. I just think it was hard enough that the ref was like, "Hey, that's a DQ." So she DQ'd herself.
Dang.
I think she would have got
Ooh.
armbarred if she didn't do
If
that
that
though.
hadn't yeah.
Yeah,
So it was she was going to lose anyway.
yeah, yeah. And Sandra did the same thing to me that she did to Natasha. She just held her in her close guard the whole time. But she was able to get, I think, go for the triangle and finish with the armbar. But
Mm.
yeah, Sandra knocked out
All right.
Natasha.
Dang.
Yeah,
We
I think
see
it's
you.
so crazy. Like the number one seed got knocked out from a DQ, so I didn't even see her. But
Nope.
she was,
Hey, but y'all are going to be seeing all
oh
of
yeah,
each other.
oh yeah. She's already
Um
signed up for Vegas World or Nogi Worlds next month. Natasha is. So if I did
she's
do that,
ready.
could be seeing her again there.
Mhm. Are you're official right for October 7th for Orbit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I got a match, Orbit Submission Series in Iowa. I'll be doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah, December 7th. So yeah, that's official. I'll be going down there that weekend. And then Nogi Worlds is the 11th. So that's that
Mhm.
Wednesday through Friday. So if I did want to do both, it'd be driving down to Iowa, coming back Sunday, and then flying out to Vegas Tuesday or Wednesday. So I don't know yet.
Marinate on it, take your
Like,
time, think about
yeah,
it.
I haven't competed like that before, like traveling that much for
Yeah.
jujitsu, like 2 comps in a week. But
But
I
at least the
mean,
one in Orbit is one match, right?
yeah, it's
Mhm.
one 10-minute match. Yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I'm curious. So, um, you get through all three of your matches. You get the silver. Proud of
Mm-hmm.
you.
Thank you.
Elevating. Posture looked better overall. Like you looked like a lot of the stuff you had been working on, even pre Worlds, was kind of um you kind of adjusted and locked into that a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just curious, like, where does this take you moving forward on what you're wanting to work on or continue building on and
Mm-hmm.
also adding in?
Yeah, I think just continuing to work on my passing. That's going to be number one because those girls did have good close guards. Getting breaking close guards another thing that I need to work on
Yeah.
because that's just what I'm going to be dealing with probably from here on out, just good guards or close guards. And those girls are long like me too. That is something that I haven't experienced until this weekend is
Yeah.
going against somebody who's my size, like my length. I haven't really dealt with that in competition before. So just learning to adjust to that and knowing what to do with somebody with long legs. That's something. My first match, she kind of pushed me with her leg a little bit. I was like, damn, like her legs are so long. Like she
Like, oh
kicked me
shit.
away. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what I probably feel like to people. So it's just learning how to work with somebody that's my size, passing, and then I did notice my first match how much lactic acid built up in my forearms.
Oh,
Just
uh-huh.
that adrenaline dump and just working hard that first match. I think I want to start training better for that, like doing
Mm-hmm.
more like intense training to replicate being in a match. I'll figure it out. I want
Yeah.
to do something, but
Oh, like hit stuff when you're working
mhm.
out too, like more high intensity,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
lesser rest time in between.
So I want to up that and yeah, just work on like little things like my triangle defense. I need to get better at that. And then working like my close guard or figuring out where I want to be, what I want to do with like my guard situation.
Yeah.
Because right
Yeah.
now, like I get people in close guard and I don't have an initial reaction to what I want to do, and I need to figure that out.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
this is the time though,
mhm,
start playing around. I told you, I mean, I know you like obviously like open guard, so you like playing
mhm,
reverse delahiva, you're long legged. It's kind of like I was gonna be more like using your legs as arms kind of
yeah,
situation. Um so that'd be fun, like all of the passing and the defense and everything, and then cultivating that guard game
yeah,
sounds like it's gonna be your next movement.
mhm. Yeah, it's exciting though because this weekend I saw my progression from Vegas Worlds in August. I was able to see that, able to see the difference. Like my guard retention was better. I wasn't getting passed. So just little things, but also like just fixing the little things too, like the little mistakes that I made. Just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel pretty good overall.
Yeah. Well, way to kill it this weekend. We're proud
Thank
on
you.
this end. And shout out to all the other teammates this
Yeah.
weekend that competed. You all looked great. And as I always say, the hard part is literally just getting on the mats and
Mhm.
just being there. People can say a lot of stuff, but if you have not been in that situation or know what it's like, don't speak on it.
Yeah.
It's not about the wins or losses, although the wins are fun and what you're trying to do in that journey, but just being able to get out there, showcase your training, and it's good. It's cool to see. So happy for everybody.
Mhm. Yeah, we did good.
Uh
There were some good matches. It was fun to see everybody trying to playing their game and trying to do certain things. That was good.
yeah. Mhm. So, people getting their stuff in. We have promotions at our gym coming up on
Oh
November
yeah.
16th. So that's going to be super fun for those that have already gotten promoted, cuz I know we had some promotions over the weekend, but going to be in that good old Shark Tank, and for those who are going to be getting promoted November 16th again, progression, people elevating, love to see
Mhm.
it. Mhm. Okay, so I have this next mention here, but I'll mention that in the karmic one cuz I think it's fitting.
All right.
Yep. But let's go ahead and segue into our content before we get to our topic in Zen Talk. Because we haven't, obviously, it's been about a week and a half. Last time we
Mhm.
had talked, we had given our predictions about the UFC, the last two fights of that card of the UFC Taporia and Max UFC 308. So,
Yeah.
update on that. Taporia is still the champ.
Mhm. Yeah, you called that. I think you called both of those fights spot on.
I mean, to be fair, you only said the opposite just to have an
Yeah.
opposite point of view.
Yeah. You're right.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I with the Taporia fight, like so Max Holloway, for those of you obviously you've seen it. If you haven't, you've gotten the updates. That was the first time Max got knocked out in his career. And uh, I'm a big Max fan. And like you said, it went how I feared it was going to go.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like the dude's just too good.
Mhm. Yeah. The Hamza fight when he broke Whitaker's teeth.
Yeah, the co-main.
Oh.
Yeah, so co-main event, we had Hamzat making his return after a year. And what did I say? I said his attitude was different.
Mhm.
He was coming in humble Hamzat. He was going through some mental health stuff, and it was just going to be interesting seeing him back. And Whitaker trying to go back on his title run. Whitaker's a world beater, great jujitsu, great striking, and the way that Hamzat just ran through and then yeah, broke Whitaker. He didn't, I guess technically he didn't break his teeth. He pushed them back, but
Oh.
not good. And Whitaker already had issues on his bottom teeth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and still, that's brutal. And he ended it in a one round. And after seeing that, I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know who. Okay, current champ. Okay, Dreykus. I think that'd be a very interesting matchup because he has good wrestling too. But the
Mm-hmm.
way Hamzat handled Whitaker and Scary, he just the way he chains wrestling and the way he just slapped that rear naked on, more so a neck crank. But it was like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're gonna tap because that is very painful. Clearly, his teeth
Oh.
got pushed in.
Yeah, didn't he break his jaw too?
No, he didn't break the
Okay.
jaw. He just
So
got
he,
his teeth.
ugh,
Hmm.
that's still so gross and bad to think about.
Yeah. Well, and the sad part is it's like immediately when he slapped it on, Whitaker was tapping. So
Mm.
it wasn't like he was trying to fight it or hold on. It was an immediate
Oh, I
and
didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so rough. Dang, that's so
Hmm.
much power too to just latch on and be immediately pushing somebody's teeth back.
Yeah. Well, like I
Ew.
said, to be fair, like Whitaker said he had already had like teeth issues and like his he was
Mm-hmm.
already dealing with loose bottom teeth in his
Oh,
previous fight with Dreykus and it just hadn't healed to where it needed to be. So
yeah.
something like that maybe was bound to happen, but also, I mean, like Hamzat, his squeeze is probably pretty damn strong. So
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy that he went out there with loose teeth. Like he knew his teeth were kind of loose and he decided to have a fight anyway, knowing like he's going to get hit in the mouth. If he didn't get choked, he was going to get hit.
y'all fighters are a different breed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think I got that in me. I don't got the dog in me.
Yeah, I got a little dog in me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a big dog. I think you got a
Yeah.
big dog in you. I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? I'm good.
Uh, that is something I felt this weekend. Like it's cool when you can feel that your dog is bigger than your opponent's dog. That is
That's
something I
right.
felt. That's
Let
pretty
them
sweet.
know. Yeah, the pity, the
Mm-hmm.
pity in the yard
Yeah, you can
against this
just
little Pomeranian.
uh a little chihuahua. That was that Brazilian girl, little
It
chihuahua.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. Okay. This is almost like a little get into a little bit of spirit animal.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know if mine's a pity though, but
Well, no, like if you it was like a version of it. Like if you're okay, spirit animal. But if we
mm-hmm.
broke it into into like specifics, like what would be your spirit dog, like your spirit
Mm.
cat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Spirit bird,
Damn. We can have every type of animal.
every type.
I like that. All right.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
maybe your dog is a pity, like a blue pit.
Yeah. Roxy's my home dog, but
Yeah, she's the
yeah.
homie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see a little blue pity inside of me.
Like super chill, but like we get shit popping if need be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hold down a little chihuahua.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah,
you do you feel like you got a spirit dog in you?
I think I got a spirit dog in me. Yeah, I think my
You
spirit
yeah.
dog. What do you think?
I don't know. I was just gonna say you have to have a dog, some sort of dog in you. It's not like I mean, you might have a small dog, but it's in you.
I don't think I got small dog energy.
Yeah, I don't think you do either.
I think I got more like a Doberman or German Shepherd.
Mm. Dang, a shepherd.
Yeah, or maybe a Rottie.
Yeah, I can see you like Doberman or Rottie.
Yeah, loyal, super loyal. Like we out here
Mm-hmm.
protect my fam, protect my peeps.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. But you're able to like be a little snappy if you want.
That's right, and also man's best friend. Also man's best friend. Okay, Roddy and Pity, we out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what Hamzat's dog is. A wolf?
I mean, yeah, his shit seems real primal like
Mm-hmm.
that.
like one of those big
Like
wolves.
white wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah. You ever seen the difference between like a wolf and a husky? The size difference? It's
size difference.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, aren't they really tall? They're
Really
like
tall and
they're
just like
skinny, but
stout.
they're really tall.
Yeah, it makes huskies look like puppies out here.
Yeah, I think having a wolf dog would be kind of sweet.
Oh yeah.
Like just a
You know,
massive
be
dog.
a little fearful. Be like, is it gonna like gonna eat me today? Is it gonna pop off today? Like I'm wild. You know.
Yeah, you just got to manage your inner dog and make sure you're more dominant than your wolf dog.
You right. You right.
Roxy starts acting up, and you got to put her in her place.
Don't. That's right. Don't.
Yeah, she's so funny. She was so pumped. She gets really depressed when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
So she was so pumped when I came home yesterday.
Yeah, you messed up the pack, bro.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, Zoe gets salty too.
hmm
It's like, you're not gonna take me with you? And I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry.
I wish I could.
I know, I know. You're too big. Um, okay. But those were the results. Max Holloway get knocked out. Taporia is still the champ out here. Max has officially announced that he's going up to lightweight. I thought that was going to happen anyway. He's going to go to
hmm
155. That'll be a good home for him. I think there'll be some interesting maybe matchups. Not sure what is going to be next for Whitaker, and I think Hamzat's probably going to get the next title shot. So
hmm
we shall see.
Did you see the Rose fight this weekend?
That's where we're going next. UFC
hmm
Edmonton. Um, yeah, Brandon Moreno headlined that fight,
Yeah,
and Rose and Aaron Blanchfield were the co-main, and Aaron wins by decision. And this is, I think, Rose's like sixth straight fight going to decision. I don't know how many losses in a row.
yeah. I think this is her seventh loss.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like, what's up with her? What's go like
I
what?
don't know. She seemed too laid back, or like just didn't seem like she had that aggressive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of stayed, I don't know, to herself.
Stiff.
Yeah,
Mm. I mean,
yeah.
she's not with her original striking coach anymore, or coach. She's always been with her hubby slash
hmm
questionable relationship, Pat Barry. And people are
Yeah.
been saying it for a long time of like, you need a switch up on your coaching clearly, because shit hasn't been right since after that first or that fight, the first fight with Wei Lee.
hmm Yeah, I feel like you can't have your boyfriend or your hubby as your main coach like that. I don't know. I see a lot, there's a lot of girls that are out there with their boyfriends as their coaches, and that ain't it.
Says a lot about the culture,
hmm
unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that's not it. And he's been around on some questionable, pre-age, legal age.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, she clearly needs something different. Whatever she's doing, she is not the Rose of old. Um, her fights, she's stiff, stagnant. Mind you, I thought Aaron Blanchfield was probably going to beat her anyway.
yeah, me too.
But was just kind of thinking that like Rose would be able to be more offensive than she
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Like she did look like the more experienced fighter because she is, but I was expecting more to come from her. I was expecting more of Aaron, honestly, too.
Yeah. Well, she was like scared or
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
not a good look, but Aaron with the W,
Mm-hmm.
Rose with another L. Sad.
Yeah, just sad.
So we have UFC Fight Night this weekend. There are a couple women fighting. If I pull it up on my end. So we have UFC Fight Night, Magny, and I think it's Protez. Co-main event being Cody Garbrandt and Miles Johns. And then the fight before that will be Carolina Kolakowicz Carolina, just gonna say that. We know her. We've seen her before against Denise Gomez and other ladies. Some other ladies on the fight card will be Luana Pinheiro and Jillian Robertson.
Yeah, nice.
So that will be this weekend coming up. And then the following weekend, November 16th, we will have UFC 309 with the return of John Jones and Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title. I'm personally, I mean, not excited, but kind of excited because it's like they both, I think this is going to be their retirement fight. I think
Mm,
like John Jones's coach has come out and said this is probably like the last rodeo. I think he's alluding to that. People want him to fight Aspinall if he does win, or he should have fought Aspinall instead of Stipe. Regardless of what you
mm,
think about John Jones personally and all the stupid things he's done outside of fighting, if you know John Jones' legacy fighting wise, there's no reason for him to fight Aspinall at this point in time in his career. If he wants to
mm,
fight Steve Miocic for his last hoorah, um, hopefully it's competitive. If not, oh well, he's earned that. I
yeah.
think in my personal opinion. So I will tune in for that fight. It's actually a pretty good fight card. So our
Hmm.
co-main event on that is Charles Olives, my guy Oliveira, against Michael Chandler. Clearly, that McGregor fight didn't work out for Chandler, so we're finally going to get to see Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler number 2. And then we have the women's flyweight fight, Vivian Arjo against Karine Silva. Then we have middleweight fight, Bo Nickel against Paul Craig. And middleweights, Chris Weidman against Eric Anders. Um, yeah, it looks like there's only there's 2 fights. There's another female fight happening on the early prelims of that card, which would be Veronica Hardy and Eduarda Mora.
Hmm. Now that'll be a good one.
Yeah. So I'll tune in, watch that. We'll see. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and I think John Jones wins that. I'm gonna say Charles Olives. I have to go with Charles Olives wins that fight, and just for the sake of if I'm looking at it now, I'm gonna go with Kareen.
All right. Well, I want to stick with John Jones, but
Yeah.
I'll oppose you in the other two, Michael Chandler and Vivian. Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah, that's a solid opposition. Solid opposition on that. That's UFC 309 November 16th, so we will see how that goes. Okay, moving right along. Did you see this recent news? And I just thought about this because well, it came out and then I recently decided because it was just kind of like, hey, do you want to teach? And I'm like, I don't want to teach the same things I always teach. If I am
Hmm.
teaching, let's switch some shit up that I haven't thought about in a while, but will kind of be fun. So last 2 weeks ago, and then um this last week, I went and did some just basic worm guard and squid guard stuff. And
Hmm.
so Keenan Cornelius really got it. I got his encyclopedia, like lapel psych encyclopedia, and so that's where I got the worm guard and squid guard
Nice.
series that we were working on over the last couple of weeks. And he's kind of controversial. He likes to come out with some hot takes and things to say. And he actually came out, and I don't know if it was at Pans or if it was something recently, but I was seeing a lot of adult Nogi players being tested positive for
Hmm.
PEDs, right? Because they're testing now,
Hmm.
or they were releasing the names. Don't quote me on that, but it's something to have to do with like these athletes have recently come out and they were found to have tested positive, and we talked about it previously about how unfortunately like PED usage within the sport is kind of rampant,
Yeah.
and whether you believe in it or not. And obviously, the testing isn't where it is for like UFC and things like that. It's going to be a hot topic, and people are going to have different opinions about it. Keenan Cornelius came out and called jujitsu players who are taking PEDs and who have gotten caught mentally weak. So, of course, that people are blowing up about that on Reddit, and obviously, they got things to say.
Hmm.
What's your thoughts on that one?
Hey, I'm not on anything.
Don't need it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think are they testing through IBJJF or like for pans they were testing for PEDs? Is that what
Like I
you're
think if
saying?
you like adult division,
Like probably
um
black belts.
oh yeah, for sure. Um I'm trying to look and see like when, yeah, like pans YBJJ. Let's see. Yeah, suspend. So this was back in like late September and whatnot. But like so like Keena Cornelius, he just said what he said. But
Mm-hmm.
this coming, so IBJJF suspends the in 2024 world champion Yatin Bueno
Mm.
for 3 years following positive PED
Oh, geez.
usage. Yeah. So that was at the suspension had stemmed from, and this is coming off of um, the bjee.com article that I'm looking this up, getting this information. So the positive test, the suspension stems from a failed in competition drug test from June 2nd during the prestigious IBJJF World Championship. So they
Mm.
tested at Worlds.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if they tested at Pans, but right, like obviously, and then there was
Mm-hmm.
one like September, um yeah, from bjjheroes.com. There was Felipe Andrew, who was stripped of IBJJF pan title after failing USADA test.
Dang.
And that was after missing the world championships in June this year, and rumors had circulated alluding to a possible failed drug test and within the United States. So that test was performed back in March. So this has been going on. um like I said, Keenan came out with his take on it recently, and obviously people are talking about it on Reddit. But just like I said, like we've talked about,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be a hater. I think that here's my problem that I have with it. We're not talking about athletes who, and like we've like debate or not, if you're older and that's something that you have a medical exemption for or whatnot, I still do believe that, like, yes, like do what you need to do medical wise. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
competing, like maybe we can look into like an open class or something like that. um just because I just think competitive wise, I don't just because I don't need to put myself on something just to be competitive because you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to come up to levels. And again, like no shade, do what you want to do what you need to do. Like we've talked about, I just think it's fair to have like an open
Oh
division,
yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah, with that. But my problem that I'm having with like the news that's coming out, and I wouldn't necessarily agree necessarily verbatim of what Keenan Cornelius said, but there is something to be said if you have like people, these athletes in their 20s who are testing
Oh
positive
yeah.
for this. It's like just to be competitive. Like I think that that
Mm-hmm.
is more of a darkness within the sport versus like I'm doing this because I'm older and I'm recovery
Yeah,
and
yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I feel that too. Like you're in your 20s. Like if you're not at that level, work on your technique, like if you're not on that level, that's probably not your thing. Like you probably won't reach that level. But I don't know, you shouldn't be taking anything in your 20s. That's how I feel.
yeah, like I just, like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. Outside of getting like consulting with a medical professional and you need it for medical purposes, if it's purely for uh for, and remind you, in my opinion, okay, we could say like there's all kinds of PEDs that are legal.
Hmm.
Take the ones that are with that have been researched, you've consulted, there's no long-term effects. You see people like Gordon Ryan, right? He has
Hmm.
all these gut issues and whatnot, and I think the dude's only like, he's not even
No,
30 yet.
he's my age. I think he's 29.
Yeah, like that wasn't just an immune like issue. That was created because of multiple antibiotics, because of what he was doing, and all the roids. People can have their speculations allegedly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
know. You gotta have balance in your life. Like you gotta train, but then you gotta rest. You can't just keep training and throw drugs on top of that so you can train more. And like you gotta, I don't know, like you need to have balance in your life.
yeah.
And be, I don't know, the rest of us who don't take anything, like, hey, we train and then we have to recover like normal, you know? We don't got that boost in our system, but I don't know. I don't know. Are they going to start testing everybody for IBJJF? Like, how do you think that's
Um,
going to play out?
I don't know, right? Because then that becomes like a financial kind of thing, and then
Hmm.
um, I think and then are you going to test masters like divisions, like
Yeah.
versus like right adults, like what makes that different? Um,
And
are you
what
just going
belt
to
level?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, if you have 20-year olds and whatnot, like in there, you unfortunately, right, you have some gyms promoting, or it's not uncommon to hear like maybe a teenager or some, like taking certain things.
Hmm.
Again, if you have a culture of like affirming these kinds of things and a competitive mindset versus like health purposes and whatnot, I just don't think it's going to mesh well with the longevity of somebody's health.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy because their sport's about technique too. Like it's about having better technique to be, to outplay your opponent. But all these people are just, trying to get big and strong, as strong as they
Mm-hmm.
can. And I get the recovery aspect of it. Like it really helps with recovery. But like, hey, you're supposed to be more technical out here.
Exactly. Like it's just yeah, like like body's got to be doing well, strong and speed, but like that's only going to take you so far if like your
Mm-hmm.
technique is trash.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the longevity of the sport. That's the art, that's the respect of the sport that I personally appreciate is the
Yeah.
technical aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. It's just kind of a wild sport that's what like PEDs and everything's taken off in. Because like football, you need to be athletically big and strong, and you're like you need to recover super fast. Like you're hitting people, like you're taking more damage. I feel like jujitsu is not like that. Like it's more
I mean, it
like
is, but it isn't, right? It is a lot of wear and tear
yeah,
because you constantly, it's just a contact sport. So it
yeah,
is, but you also have regulatory, like, as much, I'll put it in quotes, right? Because you can always
mm-hmm,
cheat a test, but it's like they have regulations in those particular kinds of sports against
mm-hmm,
PEDs or being here is a list of acceptable supplements or whatever, and here's a list of
yeah,
non.
yeah. Like being a D1 athlete, like there's certain things you can take, certain things you can't take.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's your responsibility to
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they scared me back in college. Like I was taking pre-workout and I'm like, oh, I hope this is fine.
I know. I mean, D2, they would do that too. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to get a list of like what's acceptable
Hmm.
and what's not. But they weren't. I mean, I'm not gonna yeah, they did. They tested D2 athletes too. Like if you won, or if you were in the top
Mm.
like at nationals or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. But hey, do you everybody? That's just I'm not gonna agree with it when it comes to the youngins.
Hmm.
Um, build those bricks, tend to that foundation, sharpen up your technique.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, speaking of that part,
do other
stretch,
things to recover. Ice baths, hot yoga, eat healthy,
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of technique, uh, we were just talking about UFC 309 happening November 16th. Well, the day before, we're going to have our first Netflix, or maybe not the first one, or cause they were supposed to do it. I don't know if it did happen on Netflix already, if this will be like the first Netflix like live sporting event, but we're not gonna spend a lot of time on this. It's just a mention. But the
All right.
Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight
Oh,
is happening November 15th on Netflix.
dang. I
I
didn't know that.
Iron Yeah, Iron Mike, obviously like decades, his technique is immaculate. But do I think a 60-some-year-old Mike Tyson is going to be able to beat a roided out Jake Paul in his 20s? Absolutely not.
Hmm.
That's gonna be my prediction, and I don't want that to happen. But like, let's be
Yeah.
real, people.
I know. Like I really want Mike Tyson to knock him out, but I don't know. I don't know if he still can. I don't know how he's feeling, how Mike Tyson's feeling, because didn't he have something like a medical thing happen earlier this summer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what canceled the original fight?
Yeah, it is. And I'm like, the man is 60 years old.
Yeah, who would? Why would you want to be in your 20s and fight a 60-year-old? That's
Regardless
crazy.
of who it is.
Yeah.
Regardless of who it is. Like that's like so like a professional skateboarder being like and like 17 years old being like, you know who I want to compete against? I want to compete, go one on one back to back against a Tony Hawk. I get
Hmm.
it's Tony Hawk, but like Tony Hawk is not the Tony Hawk of what he was. So y'all need like that's the thing I say with like John Jones argument, right? It's like
Yeah.
he's at a point in his career, whether he wants to say it or not. Let's keep it 100, y'all. Why would you fight somebody in their prime when you're at a particular stage in your life? Like that just doesn't
Yeah.
even make any sense. Nobody wants to see it. It's dangerous. Now, unless
Hmm.
you're giving Mike Tyson some roids and it's like, all right, cool, have at it. And maybe he is. And Jake Paul is too. I just don't see a world where Mike Tyson, regardless of who he is and his credentials, at 60 something years old or 60 or 61, being able to be competitive with 20 some year old Jake Paul, worrying
Hmm.
it out.
Do you think it's going to be a real fight, or do you think it's going to be
It's an
kind of
exhibition fight.
so it's not going to be a real fight?
No.
See, I hate fights like that because they probably got a deal like, hey, let's make it all, however many rounds. Let's not throw any like really powerful punches. Like, let's make this a fun show so we can make money. But I don't know. I don't know if how real it's going to be. Like, is
Yeah.
anybody, are they going to actually knock each other out? Because I feel like if Mike Tyson was being for real, he would be trying to knock him out. But,
I hope he goes rogue. If they have something agreed, I want Tyson of old. I want him as soon as he gets
hmm,
that first jab, he's like, oh, yeah, we're in a fight.
hmm.
F whatever contract or agreement we've agreed to. We're fighting.
Yeah, see, that'd be awesome to see. I want to see that, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked out.
No. And
That's
unfortunately, there's a high probability that that potentially could happen.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have Netflix?
I do.
All right, I might
Yeah.
come over and watch that.
Watch that. Yep. Get down on it. Okay. So, uh, speaking of that though, because Jake Paul, I'm just like, F this dude. At some point, I mean, I get your money. Obviously he has a great scheme going on. Personally, I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe karma, but that's not me to say, well, at some point get to him, but who knows? But I think that's solid. A good segue into our topic of the week.
All right.
Unless you have anything else to add with content wise, we talked about obviously you got Orbit coming up December 7th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
We
got
got
a list.
Subspectrum. Yeah, give us the list before we get into this
Yeah,
topic.
we got Invicta's actually in Kansas City this weekend on
Oh,
Wednesday, November 6th.
then on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday. I mean, I could go if anybody wants to go. If anybody listening wants to go. So that's on Wednesday. Then yeah, we got Subspectrum November 9th. We got a Blue Corner kickboxing event November 9th. Synergy is having an event in Springfield, Missouri, November 16th. Then FAC's December 6th. Yeah, then we got the Orbit Submission Series in Iowa. That's December 7th. And then Nogi Worlds December 11th. And then we got our local Crash Combat Championship January 18th. That's yeah, that's all the local stuff.
A lot coming up.
Hmm. Yeah, it's fun. I need to attend some of these events. I haven't really gone to a whole lot
It's
this
coming.
fall.
I
Yeah.
mean, things been kind of jammed up,
Hmm.
stuff been coming up. So
Yeah. And then also, wrestling season starts November 18th. And I'm
yeah.
helping. I'm going to be the assistant coach for that. So that,
Oh, we
I'm,
could announce it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Coach Michaela.
yeah, I'm going to be busy in a couple weeks. I'm going to be real busy.
You are.
It'll be
We're
fun
gonna have
though.
to figure it. We're gonna figure it out. We're still
Hmm.
gonna bring y'all content. But Michaela's gonna be out here
Yeah. I'll be coaching little high
transitioning.
schoolers.
Uh huh. Uh huh. So
Yeah.
excited. That'll be a whole new experience. Definitely a
Mhm.
learning experience.
Yeah. My wrestling's gonna be awesome
Ah, shit.
after these 4 months. Yeah.
Wrestling and jujitsu together. It's
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet because we'll have wrestling practice at our jujitsu gym, and that starts at
oh, really?
yeah, that'll be at 3:30 Monday through Friday. So I'm gonna be at the gym from 3:30 to probably 9:30 almost every
Dang.
day.
Full time job right there.
Mhm. That'll be awesome. Doing wrestling or watching coaching wrestling and then doing jujitsu afterwards.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be real good. And I'm excited for it. I know it's going to be a
Hmm.
lot in the moment. I might be tired, but hey, after 4 months, like there's going to be a lot of leveling up happening.
Exactly. Definitely going to be worth it.
hmm Yeah, and I'm excited to meet all these little high schoolers too. That'll be fun.
yeah, well. So Michaela's gonna have to keep us posted on what this new assistant coaching journey is going to be like for her as we get into the wrestling season here in the next couple of weeks and what that entails. And as Michaela mentioned, there's a lot of local uh, events coming up, so check them out. Look up the calendars, look up tickets, dates, all that good stuff, and go
hmm
check out something if you can. All right. Anything else
No,
on that?
topic of the week.
All right. Well, topic of the week, Karmic Portal. This has been something that has been coming up again, always fitting in what we always try to connect the dots, um, even if we don't even know how the dots are connected. But we
hmm
have been on this continual path for the last couple of months, and it's been super cool just to new things come up, things that we didn't realize, things that we've been talking about, and then boom, this shows
hmm
up in my world right now. So this karmic portal that we're talking about, is, Michaela and I have been talking about over the last month of like just this new transformative energy. We're evolving, we're tending to the foundation of our bricks, holding self accountable, checking your ego, staying humble, right? All of that good stuff. And I know a lot that's been kind of like topic, not only for myself, maybe for you, Michaela, as well.
hmm
I know people that I know, a lot of stuff that's been coming up. And like we've talked about last week, the villain era. So the villain era is really kind of been amping up old patterns, old cycles coming into your universe. And people are like, I thought I learned from this and I know
hmm
better. And it's like, hey, yes, you might know better, and you probably have not necessarily been in said scenario, or you continue to be in said scenario that the universe keeps giving to you and giving you the same lessons because you keep doing the same thing, whether
hmm
it's in different versions, it's with different people. Thematically, you're doing the exact same thing, and you haven't actually learned to actually transition your karmic portal into a new era. And so, the question with this and the topic of the week is like, when is it time to let go of old patterns that just result in similar results? So, just off the dome, what does this kind of bring up for you, Michaela?
I had to Google karmic portal earlier because I'm like, what does that mean? But like reflecting on it and kind of thinking about this past weekend, it's like to me, that's growing out of your old habits to be able to recognize you had old habits, like kind of growing out of that. Or like, I know it's probably better to recognize it in the moment, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes it takes growing past it to be like, oh, I was continuing bad habits here and I've finally been able to break out of that and grow past that and like change. I think just the big part of having old habits is recognizing it and knowing that you either grow out of it or you need to commit to a change to move past that.
Yeah, 100%. The first bullet point here with that is like what it sounds like for you, is calling yourself out, right? Of like we
Mhm.
talked about, of like holding yourself accountable. So, because it is super hard, and the reality of the situation, I don't think, unless like if you're doing things that is just natural to you,
Mhm.
even if it's causing you harm, you are under the guise that it's this is what I need. This is my protection. This is a familiar place. So
Yeah.
we'd rather, just as human beings, be in familiar pain than unfamiliar, uncertain pain or even pleasure. And
Yeah.
so we tend to continue to affirm. We get stuck in these particular cycles, and like I said, the same things continue to present itself. And so it can be really difficult in real time to catch it. But then
Mhm.
when you start calling yourself out, holding yourself accountable, being open to criticism, not necessarily criticism, but being open to just different ways of thinking and just how different people perceive different things, because it is a lot
Yeah.
about perspective. It doesn't mean that
Oh,
somebody's
yeah.
right and you're
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, I think also, like, setting limits on yourself too, like, thinking that you
Hmm.
aren't able to get past, or you have to do something first to be able to get out of your situation. And I think, like, for me, like, just, like, going back and watching just film, competition film, and recognizing, seeing what bad patterns I'm doing and being able to recognize, because you don't feel it in the moment, like, when we're rolling, we don't like recognize the little mistakes we're making until like recording them and looking back at it and seeing like, oh, I am doing this wrong. I need to make some changes so I can change my patterns of behavior or my patterns of rolling. But I don't know. I don't know where I was
Yeah.
going with that.
No, I was
Mm,
following you. Well, and it's putting yourself in positions like we've talked about before of being comfortable, being uncomfortable, because
mm-hmm.
you think, like, when you watch your, like we've talked about recently, because we used to not do it, and yes, we've been doing it more for
Mm-hmm.
like our social media content, but it has been helpful for our own training of being able to look at videos of like when we have us on videos, not like everybody else, right? But noticing old competition videos or looking at random training videos and saying, "Oh, I didn't realize that I was doing that with my, like, I felt differently." But then being
Mm-hmm.
able to notice it, and then you have to be intentional because your body's thinking that you're doing what you think you're doing until you're uncomfortable to readjust to do something different. So it
Yeah.
wasn't natural. It felt weird when you started like being more intentional with correcting your posture, right? Or not being
Mm-hmm.
so over. Like it almost felt like this isn't correct. Like I shouldn't be here. I
Yeah.
want to go back to where I normally was. And that's your
Mm-hmm.
body being like, nope, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Feeling unstable. And
Yeah,
realizing like, oh, this is correct. I just need to figure out how to make this feel comfortable so it's natural for me. But
exactly.
that wasn't something I knew of, or that I didn't realize that till having an outside perspective, like looking from the outside in and realizing, oh, I need to make changes here to improve my game.
Yep. Well, I'll double that for you, right? It was looking on the outside in, but then it was also looking on the inside out.
Yeah.
Because if I'm stuck, right? If I'm going to be stuck in my old patterns, that means I'm not open to being uncomfortable to transition to that new one. So
Mm,
if I'm like, I'll never do this move, so I don't need to do X, Y, and Z, I might not do the move. It might not align with
yeah.
my body type. I might not like it, and that's okay. And right, if my game is in a certain way, which is completely fine, right? You develop a certain game, then you start becoming
Hmm.
a master or expertise in that specific way you play. If I have developed bad habits to where I get myself, for example, um I have been trying to break a bad habit, even though like I'm confident in my back defense,
Hmm.
for whatever reason I tend to get my back taken a lot more than I would like to. Even though I can get out of it, it's like just being in that position. So then when I get like in recent
Hmm.
competitions, it's like I'm susceptible to that. So if I'm continuing just to do the same things that I'm doing
Yeah.
without trying to implement or look right, make myself uncomfortable or being like, okay, I really need to start looking at this or practice this, I'm just going to continue the same
Hmm.
patterns.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that this weekend, like I was able to get my guard back a lot better than I was like previous, so I wasn't getting smashed. I wasn't getting held in side control because I was able to prevent that from happening because I recognized I need to work on my guard retention, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I feel you on that. Just being a step ahead to so you're not putting yourself in that bad situation.
Exactly. And so like, yeah, you're not going to recognize it in real time, but like it's being like, what am I doing to call myself out? Am I looking at old training videos? If it becomes to like problematic behavioral and thought things like outside of
Mhm.
jujitsu, that's right, like is bringing me negative energy to me and other everybody else, right? I really need to be open to, once you know better, hopefully you're doing better.
Mhm.
And like you said, you setting boundaries for yourself, and setting boundaries for yourself is giving yourself the space to make mistakes and to
Mhm.
adjust in that new pattern, because the new pattern is not going to be easy to develop
Mhm.
without that.
Yeah, it's hard changing just in general, just getting out of the bad habits and changing your pattern. I think it's I don't know. It's hard cuz you get comfortable and then you're content just being where you're at, but you have
It
to be
is
uncomfortable to be able to step out of that and make change. And then continue like make that new change your new habits. Like that's hard too to you got to just keep repping the same thing until the uncomfortable's comfortable.
that part. You have to, the repetition is the where the consistency is going to come from, right? And that's part of
Mhm.
having boundaries for yourself, especially when it comes to training. Is, I'm going to, this is just what I'm going to do this week, even if, okay, like, yeah, my guard got passed, I got subbed out or whatever, but like, and I don't need to be like, I'm working on this to, to let
Mhm.
somebody know, but like, I can just keep that to myself. Or yeah, like, hey, like, tell your training partner, this is what I'm trying to work on, could you give me these kind of looks, or just keep doing what you're doing, but this is what I'm going to be focusing on. Like, put
Mhm.
yourself in those positions and have those boundaries for yourself, because you naturally want to go to, oh, this person passed me, let me go back to what I'm comfortable with, and
Mhm.
that. So you do have to force yourself and get out of that box to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, getting out of the box.
Get out of the box. And another big thing that we've talked about, energy. What you put
Mhm.
in is what is going to come back to you. And that's essentially what the karmic portal is also kind of talking about. It's not so much karma as I look at it personally, of like, oh, people think, if this happens, this is going to happen. So if you're a dick in training, like somebody's going to be a
Mhm.
dick to you, and not necessarily, right? Or if like, oh, I wish karma get, like, one, karma is not for somebody else to wish upon somebody, or to,
Mhm.
like, it's not my job to make sure you experience karma, if that makes sense. Like, the universe is going to universe. And so
Mhm.
if you're in that kind of mindset, then the energy that you put out, 6 degrees separation, whether you know it or not, it's coming back to you in some form.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I felt that like with work, like being negative towards work and being like, "Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't like this." And then feeling really negative like weeks prior or weeks later because I put that negative energy out there. It's like your mindset, like changing your mindset so you're not being negative or trapped in that box, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's isn't oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a bad habit to get into, but like recognizing it and being able to like know to stop, set those boundaries and stop that thinking will help you out in the future. Like stopping that energy, that negative energy from coming back to you.
Yeah. Well, and exactly, the negative energy that you generate. 'Cause at the end of the day, you're going to
Hmm.
have all kinds of energy coming your way, and it's about your response and how you're going to experience and how other people are going to experience you within that.
Hmm.
Um, and so get out of the, I know the universe is universe, and for a lot of people in the in this particular space right now, as we talked about those our cardinal signs, like us being, well, me having three of the four of them, you having at least, one of
I
those
got two.
or two. Yep, feeling it.
Hmm.
Um, and change does not, as we've talked about, change does not happen comfortably. It's not going to be this smooth kind of thing. Like, usually you have to be confronted, or like think like a challenge or something has to happen for you to,
Hmm.
want to be able to make that decision to move in a different way.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like off of my first match and my arms are burning, feeling lactic acid build up in my arms and shit. And I'm like, I gotta replicate that outside of
Hmm.
here to get used to that, to get comfortable to that. So I can, I can fight better, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, where can I plug these little things in? Right. And whatnot. So figure out where you can apply these things. And, it's like, the universe is not out to get you when things happen. It's okay to have a little pity party every once in a while. And again, like take self ownership in the energy that you're in, where you're at in your journey, and just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Keep it
So
flowing.
that's right. Flow
Riding the
is all you
wave.
can do. You have to, because if you resist, you're gonna get taken into the tide,
Mm-hmm.
rolled up, knocked out, spit out, whatever.
Sucked under.
It's over.
Under the waves.
Yeah. So get it together. So with that said, a segue, right? Ending on that, going to our Zen talk of karmic cleansing, right?
Yeah.
So your ability to recognize and let go of past karma and move towards opening yourself to new karmic portals of opportunity and clarity into the journey.
All
So
right.
essentially, right? So essentially, we're saying like acknowledging and not necessarily critique or judgment, just observing and acknowledging maybe past things that have happened, taking ownership, and that doesn't excuse other people and how they show up in your world, but you are responsible how you respond, even if you only have a certain amount of options on how you can respond. Again, you made a choice within that selection to respond how you were going to respond. So if I don't want the same things to happen and getting out of, this maybe the old patterns of a karmic portal and getting into a new era of a karmic portal, the cleansing of that is being willing to be uncomfortable, to make those changes, hold those hard conversations, enforce those hard boundaries for self and others where you need to be, and take the reins off of yourself that nobody else is putting on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't set limits on yourself. Knowing that you can change and you can be different and you can grow instead of being stuck just where you're at. Or thinking, I won't be here until I do this, or, just setting limits on yourself. Gotta break those.
Break free. You're limitless. We're limitless out here.
Mm-hmm. It's hard though. It's really easy to get wrapped up in that and being like, I can't do this, or I can't get here, or I gotta do this
Absolutely.
first.
Oh, don't think I don't be getting there. I be getting there. We fight for our lives sometimes in my brain. Like, damn, and it is what it is. And for me, as it's going to be continual journey, as I was telling Michaela, it's also been a nice little swift kick in the ass for myself to be like, okay, like if certain things they're happening in my world, or I'm getting caught in certain things or whatever, like what is my responsibility? I can be soft with myself. And even if these are my old patterns, that doesn't necessarily define me, but it's part of me and I don't have to be ashamed of it. But I'm
mm-hmm.
not incapable of not changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for me, like training wise, like earlier this year, I was like, oh, it's going to take me years to get to where I want to go. Like, this isn't going to be the year, whatever. But like now I'm kind of switching my thinking towards, hey, like I can achieve whatever I want to this year. I just got to put the work in and put the time in and not set that limit on myself, not doubt what I'm capable of, just going for it. And yeah, starting new, what is it, karmic portals? Like, I don't know,
Mhm.
just not having those limits and knowing that we can do anything. We just got to keep it up and keep putting the work in. We'll
Yep,
get
as you
there.
have been. Yes, we will.
Yeah.
And I think the universe was showing you, exactly that over this weekend, was like, hey,
Mhm.
like not like a treat, but just like you've had this awareness for a while, and like you said, it's like it's not necessarily going to take. It is going to, like, it's a journey, and so
Yeah.
it is going to
Yeah.
take time. And being able to redefine whatever your definition of success or achievement is, because you've seen the
Mhm.
progress, and next month is not going to look like this past month, right? The
Yeah.
next month on that, like we've talked about, there's going to be kind of like that steady, even, not like it's going to be like, oh, am I increasing? I'm not decreasing, but it's just kind of here. And
Mhm.
then you'll hit the next step.
Mhm.
But it's being able, like, as you have been doing, continuing to put the work in, and that's the only way that you're at where you're continuing to be at. And you're breaking free. I'm here for
Yeah.
everything that you have going on. Like I said, this transformational time that I've been privilege to be able to see on this end. I'm just excited to see where all of this and how these things really kind of cultivate for you in all spaces within
Hmm.
the next, year. Um, just baby steps, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's what this weekend showed me. Like watching just my matches and comparing them to a few months ago, seeing those baby steps and realizing like, hey, it's possible. Like I just gotta keep putting the work in, and then you'll see it eventually down the road. But I don't know, just seeing that just a little bit of progress there, yeah, it's got me pretty excited because I know like if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll see that in a month from now. Like my match in a month from now, I feel like I'll be way ahead of where I'm at now, and that's just going to keep progressing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Yeah, like I feel like I took the limit off, and I'm just like, hey, we're gonna see what we can do.
Yeah, you took control of what
Yeah.
you had control over, right? And letting go of what you
Mhm.
didn't. And you easily could have, like we all can, right? Is like you said, it's hard. It's like it's easy to have a pity party for yourself. Like, it's gonna take me years to get here.
Mhm.
Or this continues to happen to me, and just sit in that. And then you don't in action, you're still making an action, right? You're
Yeah.
making a choice. And you didn't do that. And we both haven't done that. We've both just been doing what we can on, and like I said, in various different areas in our lives, and not necessarily having an expectation, but knowing we're just going to move forward, whatever it looks like.
Yeah. Knowing there's growth because we're putting the work in. We're not
Mm-hmm.
staying stagnant. We're putting work in. We're putting the time in and taking care of ourselves and like just paying attention to everything. Knowing what we can build off of.
Yeah,
Not holding limits over ourselves.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Love to see it. Stick with us, chokers and conscious walkers.
Mhm.
Again, still developing. Give us your feedback if that's not what you want to be called.
Yeah. Just let us know. We're open.
Yeah, always. You know, I might give you like, nah, we're good. But I
Yeah,
still want to hear it.
yeah, yeah. There might be some we might get some out there answers, but that's all right.
Yeah. So get your karmic cleansing going on. And your karmic cleansing only happens when you take responsibility and accountability for your journey.
Mhm.
Um,
Take control.
yes. So, I got a quote.
Mhm.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, the universe does not carry debts. It always returns back to you what you gave it. Dristi Babylani.
Dang, Dristy. Kind of like that name. It's cool.
I know. Dristi, Dristi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that fits perfect into this episode. Karma.
That's right. So let me give y'all that one more again. The universe does not carry debts. It always returns back to you what you gave it. Dristi Babylani.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, stay positive. It's coming
What you
back
put
to you.
out is going to come back to you, whether you think it like directly or not.
Mhm.
It might come back through somebody else.
Yeah, you
Just
never know.
saying. hmm Be wise out here.
Or try to be.
Oh, okay, but so I did have this random mention that we have this quote.
Mhm.
But I kind of thought this was fitting because if you don't try new things, big things, and maybe this is fitting. RIP to the legend, producer, music connoisseur Quincy Jones passed away this morning. I'm not sure if you're super familiar with him. I know maybe a lot of
Mhm.
young bucks probably aren't. But let's just say, without going super deep into it, he was here with Little Michael Jackson 5 and all that. He was producer, big influence with Thriller, right? And
Mm.
Bad. I think it was Beat It, where he called Van Halen to get a guitar solo for this artist, right? Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
yeah.
Obviously, Michael Jackson was still, I mean, Michael Jackson at that point, but
Mhm.
didn't even know that would go this way. So obviously, we have things like a Thriller. We wouldn't have like obviously the number one song of all time. Um, you don't get that without somebody pushing limits,
Mm-hmm.
going out of the collective, getting out of old patterns, creating new eras and
Yeah.
whatnot. So just wanted to throw that randomness in because that just happened this morning, which is sad. But I was
Mm.
like, I mean, kind of a little bit, fitting in terms of like just pushing yourself and doing new things because you never know what those new things can create.
Yeah. And it's always like the new and out there things that do take off.
Yeah.
Just the new ideas that other people don't have. And it's because you're different and because you're unique that you're able to have those ideas and that energy and put that out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So be you, hold yourself to it, and that's what we have for today.
Yeah. Episode 16. Solid.
Sweet, sweet 16 for y'all. Michaela, do you have anything else to add and anything on here?
No, I'm feel pretty solid about that episode.
Yeah, same. Well, for our next episode, we shall have our first guest, Nikki May,
Yeah.
on here. We're both super excited. I know Nikki's super excited
Mm-hmm.
too. So we're going to get her set up. And so we will have that to you all next time. For now, this is Deja,
This is Michaela.
and you are with us for episode 16, Chokes and Consciousness.
Yeah.
Talk to y'all next time.